Guys, welcome back to CALLOUS Invitational 3 lower bracket content in round 3. That's right, lower bracket, which is kind of hard to believe given these two players. You would easily assume that this is a winner's bracket match, but as it happens, it's not, and one of these guys is not going to be around after this match. This is a real heavyweight clash here in round 3, where either the best player in ADV right now, Lanier, who's also been the best player in this tournament for the past 2 years, or the hardened veteran who was one of the best ADV players in the world for years, and the recent ADV Cup finalist, Tamahome. One of them's not going to be here. One of them's headed to a 1-2 round 3 exit. That's tough, but we've already seen some huge players go out of this tournament earlier than expected, such as Mark OP with the 0-2, and that's just the nature of the tournament. But one of these guys is going for an early exit one way or another. This match could have huge impact on the rest of this tournament. Either one of these guys could make a big run into the money out of the lower bracket. So this is a heavyweight match for sure. Like I said, huge implications here with whoever wins. Can't wait to see how it plays out. Here is game 1 in the best of 3 between the TheLinearCurve, Diseased Donkey, and Tamahome. Lanier is on the bottom. He's got a Heracross lead. Tama's top side with a Zapdos. Zapdos is favored in this 1v1. Here's the Celebi switch, and it is a straight Thunderbolt. 17%, not a big deal. Celebi can do a number of things here. Calm Mind. That changes things. Swords Dance. So it looks like he's a Baton Pass Celebi, obviously, if he's Swords Dancing up. But Tama went for the immediate Roar to prevent any shenanigans, and indeed, Celebi was attempting shenanigans, so that was a good play. T-Tar here on Swampert. Lanier goes Earthquake into the Zapdos, knowing that there would be a switch. He was trying to hit, ideally, something like a Jirachi or a Metagross that would come in trying to resist Rock Slide, but hitting Swampert's fine. Earthquake still does more than Rock Slide would have. Nevertheless, Swampert is fine after lefties. We have Purred on Celebi, and again, Celebi goes for Swords Dance, and again, he's promptly roared out. So Tama not allowing Swords Dance to be passed to what is already shown to be a couple of juicy targets here. Metagross likes it, Heracross likes it. T-Tar, I mean, it might be a mixed set. Usually with Earthquake, it is not a mixed set, though it could have HP Grass. But T-Tar, that is at least partially, if not entirely physical, also likes it. So a lot of juicy targets here. And basically every time Thomas sees the Celebi, he immediately clicks Roar. He is not allowing this to happen. Celebi comes in now. Here's Skarm. It would make a lot of sense to me if this team had Magneton, and I think Tama knows that, so we'll see if he plays around it here. Here's the Baton Pass, and there is the world's most obvious Magneton. And Tama does not play around that. He just goes Spikes. That could be a dead Skarm if he's got Magnet. But no, he's going to survive, so it's either a really garbage damage roll, or more likely, it is a leftovers Magneton. So Whirlwind prompts out Celebi that can Baton Pass right back to Mag. Of course, Tama can just Whirlwind again. And instead he goes Swords Dance, but we already know that this Swampert has Roar, so that was a nice safe play from Tama that covers both options, and I think that was well played by him. Shadow Ball here, why not, right? Because he knows he's going to get roared out, so do something before you get booted out. And Shadow Ball does 24%, which is better than nothing, but not too much more than that. Celebi again switches into Swampert, as it has been. And that Surf was aimed at the T-Tar, which of course did not stay in. Celebi can and probably will just recover here. It's probably just another Roar turn as Thomas sits there and gains lefties. And indeed it is Roar. And that's going to reveal the final poke. So only 3 pokes revealed for Tama. The entire team revealed for Lanier. And the last poke is Porygon 2, which makes sense, since if Dougie were to kill the lead Heracross, or the Celebi, or the Meta, basically his whole damn team, other than the Porygon 2 itself, really hates Dugtrio. So that seems like a pretty logical Pokemon to have. Switches out from Toxic here. No natural cure shown yet from Tama, so we might be stuck with that. Though it is definitely possible, given what Tama has shown, that one of his unrevealed pokes is Blissey or Celebi, either or. Again, Shadow Ball here, thinking he's just going to be roared out. And he is correct. He is roared out. and that's going to drag out Magneton. Swampert definitely needs to be careful here. There could easily be HP Grass. Also, Magneton is not gaining leftovers, curiously, after failing to kill the Skarm, and I feel like the Thunderbolt was pretty weak for being a Magnet Mag, so it actually could be an item like Charcoal for HP Fire or something along those lines. It could also be a Berry, but I think it's actually Charcoal Magneton here based on what we've seen. And if it is, it's not going to matter, because Tama is not going to have a Fortress, which is the primary use of having Charcoal with HP Fire, to make it so you now have a favorable roll against Fortress, which, without Charcoal, has a favorable roll against you to survive, and then will get you back with Earthquake. +1 HP Fire from Tama. That might be Super Celebi. It certainly looks to be. If so, Heracross is actually not a good switch here, because +1 Psychic would rock his world if a Celebi's faster, and the Sand says that he is. Heracross is just going to die. Super Celebi actually seems incredibly dangerous for what Lanier has shown so far. T-Tar could maybe kill it with an HP Bug, but he's going to eat a +1 Giga Drain first. Oh, he doesn't even survive. Yeah, Super Celebi seems like a nightmare here. This game might just be over. And yeah, Lanier is going to pack it up. His team seems really, really weak to that Pokemon. It just seems like an ideal matchup for Super Celebi. And Lanier is absolutely cooked in this particular game. Celebi might have just swept right here, right now. That might have been a 6-0 victory for Tama had it played out. So Lanier is, wow. Lanier is in unfamiliar territory. He is in the lower bracket, and he is down a game to Tama. Lanier has to rattle off 2 in a row, or he is going to have a round 3 exit. This is a player who won the first year of this tournament, who was the runner-up last year, and who had the most votes by both players and spectators to be the most likely player to win the tournament. But he now needs to win 2 in a row, or he is going to be out far earlier than any of us would have foreseen. Crazy stuff can happen in this tournament, man. Definitely stay tuned for Game 2. Give me a thumbs up if you like this game. I will see you guys there.